DramaCityProductions.com.
You're plugged in for the Podcast Wrestling Society, where you can get dynamic weekly pro wrestling and MMA-related content. Give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PODWRES Society so that you can stay in the know.
Space is the place, and the sky's the limit.
And if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Now, your host, he is the one and only Troy Adams.
Welcome to another Wrestling Wednesday, where we attempt to make sense of the senseless in this land of confusion right here on the Podcast Wrestling Society. I'm your loving leader, benevolent host, Midwest Monster, and the true higher power. That's right, it was me all along, Austin. I'm Troy Adams, and joining me today, no matter what the general public thinks of him, as a co-host, he's iconic. He is the Billy Kay to my Peyton Royce. He is Greg. What up, Greg?
What up? Real quick, I'm kind of sick, just so everyone knows, so I'm gonna sound like crap.
Yeah, he'll be talking really low this time, so I'll bring the excitement.
California wildfires are getting to me.
Oh man, yeah, we are hopefully by the time this posts on Wrestling Wednesday, those wildfires will be a thing of the past. But while we are recording them, bad. Not good, yeah. Bad.
Real news.
You and I both learned that the county is pronounced Butte and not Butt County. So that's good to know.
I don't know if we should be laughing at this, but yeah.
Well, we're not laughing at the situation, but we did. I'm sorry. I had to ask you because I didn't want to go on national radio and say Butt County. So I would have been getting some phone calls. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to all those people out there in Cali. And this is right after, that shooting at the clubs. And it's just a lot of bad stuff going on in the Golden State right now. But for those of you in Northern California, no worries. I'm sure that your Warriors will bring home another title this year. That's not really much of a
Well,
revelation.
Curry's kind of hurt right now, so we're
yeah,
waiting.
well, you still have an all-star team behind him, so who gives a crap?
Well, he's the guy, man.
Yeah, the guy. It's not like in Cleveland where if LeBron got hurt, we were screwed, all right? And go home, call it a day, we're done.
Yeah, this is true.
But anyway, getting away from the shoot sports and just the terrible things going along in life right now. I forgot to mention it on the podcast last week, so this news is awfully old, but I will say it now. Jose Lothario has passed away. Some of you who aren't familiar with his work in the ring may remember him as Shawn Michaels' trainer. He was big in storyline.
Super sock.
Yeah, he was basically Shawn Michaels. To make a comparison to Rocky, he was the Mick to Shawn Michaels' Rocky back in the day, about in the 1997 time frame, end of 96, beginning of 97. So, yeah, I remember him from the old, because I didn't order pay-per-view back in the day. I got Coliseum Home Video, if any of you remember that. I remember him from there. But, yeah, I've never seen him work, but from what I heard, he was a big name back in the day. But, yeah, it's just sad another legend has passed. You think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, maybe with the Legacy Awards?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he at
I'm
least...
actually surprised he's not already.
Yeah, I know. Well, there are a lot of people that aren't in there that really should be. But it is what it is. I don't know. But, yeah, getting that, house cleaning items out of the way real quick. We will touch on a little bit of news this week, which we did not do last week. Definitely, I would tell you to go to YouTube and check out our great top 10s that we got. We posted another one this week that should be interesting. It's the top 10 storylines with no conclusion or unsatisfying conclusions. I had to bump a few things off, had to look some other ones up. It was an interesting list. But then again, they're always interesting, the ones that we pick out. So I had fun with it. Hope you did. And I hope our listeners will as well. So, all right.
They will.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But before we dive into this, I do want to let you know about our great association that we have brewing with WrestlingWithWrestling.com. On WrestlingWithWrestling.com, not only can you keep up with this great podcast right here, but also the Andre Corbeil Show, when he interviews great wrestlers from the past and present, as well as covers all the latest, greatest stuff going on in the wrestling world, big time, small time, and in between. You can hear the latest of what's going on at MLW Fusion, Pro Wrestling Noah over in Japan, Impact Wrestling, and so much more. They've got a news and reports section just for the news that we don't get to cover here on the podcast because we only do one show a week. There's a WWE section, Impact Wrestling section, New Japan and Ring of Honor section, indie wrestling section for here in the United States and abroad. And they also have a store where you can get some great swag. Definitely go to WrestlingWithWrestling.com. They have matches, interviews, news, and so much more. WrestlingWithWrestling.com, covering all four corners of the ring. And while we're on the subject of peddling our wares and all that stuff, I definitely want to let all of you know that you can be a part of the society and advertise with us. You can be a patron here, not just a listener, a loyal listener and YouTube subscriber, but also you can give us our money and we will gladly tell the people how great you, your podcast, or your product are. There are multiple ways that you can advertise with the podcast. You can email me directly at JapaneseProWrestling@gmail.com. You can hit me up on social media. You know what our handles are. They're down in the description of the podcast. It's at PodRest Society for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But we always suggest going to AdvertiseCast.com/podcast wrestling society. There you can see a description of the show. You can see an about me, about your loving leader, benevolent host, and Midwest monster, me, Troy Adams. You can see our outreach, whether it be on social media or the podcast itself, what kind of demographics we have. And you can see all of our rates for 10, 15, 30, 60, and 120-second promos. We'll accept whatever, whenever. We will advertise for you, your podcast, your products, whatever you want. Our rates are posted right there. They're very reasonable if you ask me. Like I said, go to AdvertiseCast.com/podcast wrestling society and join the society. All right, and we will tell you about our great deals over at Redbubble.com. I like our merch. I hope you do too. Plenty of things you can get it on. Pretty soon, this is a podcast, so you don't, there's no really reason to see us. But I might get, put our beautiful faces on a pillow very soon, so you can sleep with us. And who wouldn't want that?
Oh man,
get some of those doctored pictures that I've been getting of you. Put those on there. I'm still questioning if those are doctored or if those are legit. Like
you will never know.
You might have been cosplaying, and it's just really weird. But some drastic body changes between the two pictures, I will say. But anyway, all right. Well, before we hit our break here, real quick, I do want to tell you while we're early in the podcast about our great swag over at Redbubble.com. You know what it is. Go to redbubble.com/people/pod society, just like our social media handles. There you can see our big portfolio of all custom-made artwork that we have, and you can slap it on some merchandise like t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, leggings, baby onesies, mugs, travel mugs, phone cases, and you can even get stickers and put them wherever you want. You can even advertise for us by posting them around town. That would be much appreciated. Or hand them out to your friends. Hey, Christmas is coming up. It's right around the corner. This would make a great Christmas present. Some stocking stuffers. get your friends and your family some PWS swag, and while you're there, pick yourself up some as well. We got the logos, we got the sayings that we always have here on the show, like, I don't know much about wrestling, I'm only an avid fan, or we'll set him on fire, then he's gone forever, bro. Or you can get hashtag junk hand out of nowhere, or the look, bro. You can even get some HCW-inspired stuff. So definitely go to redbubble.com/people/Podrest Society. That's PODWRES Society. And now that we are through plugging all of our stuff, we'll plug some other people's stuff because we're going to take a quick break here. And I got to ask you, Greg, do you think we're going to be wrapping this up today, or do you think we might get one more show out of this?
Out of what?
The Russo era.
There's probably one more show.
Okay, well, there you go. And after the next show, we'll start in with the 1995 year in review for wrestling pay-per-views. Greg and I.
Oh, that's a gem.
Oh yeah, Greg and I have been discussing it. What that will hold. You all voted for it on Twitter, so you wanted it. You're gonna get it, and I think you and I are more gonna get it by having to watch all that.
We'll be taking a lot from watching it.
Yeah. Man. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to peddle somebody else's wares right now, tell you about some other great podcasts here on the Drama City Productions Podcast Network. When we come back, part 5 of the Russo era in WCW. And yes, it is going to take 6 pots, bro, to tell you about all the lovely crap.
It was going to be 5, but we swerved you.
Swerve, bro. We didn't follow the script. We'll be right back.
DramaCityProductions.com.
This is Conversations with Paycheck and Red, a weekly podcast with 2 good old boys talking about anything and everything that crosses their mind. You may not know what you're going to get with an episode of Paycheck and Red, but you sure know you don't want to miss it. So do what you got to do. Download the app, find the episodes online, and make sure that you don't miss 1 second of Conversations with Paycheck and Red.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host, Ben. A podcast about nothing and everything. A podcast where we get together with friends, drink beer, and see where the conversation takes us. We don't edit. We don't care what people say. It's small town people with a small town mentality. It gets offensive at times, lots of swearing, and a whole lot of not caring. Available everywhere you get podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at STMPod, on Instagram at STMPodcast, and on Facebook at Small Town Mentality Pod. We'll see you there.
And we are back here on the Podcast Wrestling Society. It is Wrestling Wednesday, and it is not a post-pay-per-view show, so you know what that means. It's Greg and I, and our subject that we have been drilling home, ladies and gentlemen, has been Vince Russo, Vinny Roo in the WCW.
Vince freaking Russo.
Where were we? Where did we leave off, Greg?
Bash at the Beach, I believe.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, that's right. We didn't finish that up there, or well, we finished up Bash at the Beach. And boy, if you guys want to, catch up on all of this goodness, definitely go check out the archives because, man.
Or don't. We won't hold it to you.
Well, apparently you all have been going and checking out the archives because our Vince Russo episodes have been our most listened to. And the listens keep going up and up each and every day, and I'm not joking about that.
Keep listening, bro.
Yeah, thank you all. Greg put himself through a lot of pain for your listening enjoyment and watched all of this BS. So,
how dare you?
Oh, yeah, how dare I call this BS? Well, that would put us at the July 10th, 2000 Nitro. It is in Jacksonville, Florida. Just before we dive into the WCW side here real quick, let everybody else know on the WWE side, for this Raw. The main event is for the WWF title. The Rock is defending it against Chris Benoit. Should I bleep out? Yeah, should I bleep out his name? I don't know. Anyway, all right, just to pump up, set the scene here on Nitro before you get into your notes. To let everybody know, you can follow along. pwwew.net is the website I'm using. It says, all night long, Big Papa Pump was on a rampage, looking to get a match with the new WCW champion, Booker T, bro. After the Cat booked a four-way to determine the number one contender, Scott Steiner found himself tingling with another WCW monster, Goldberg. Oh, take it away.
Oh, man. So, right off the bat, they start off by demeaning a woman, because why wouldn't he?
Sexism, bro. Bro, I didn't even know what girls were, bro.
When one talked to me, I cried, bro.
She showed me her her cotton panties, bro.
So yeah, Kidman starts it off by calling Tori Wilson sloppy seconds. That's
wow,
lovely.
Yeah. That's classy. I thought he was a baby face, or is she a heel?
He is. He is. Okay. She turned on him to be with Shane Douglas.
Double turn, bro.
Oh, double swerve ratings.
Oh, man. Well, I see the opening match was Shane Douglas versus Crowbar, which I'm sure, sure that was just a gem.
That's the main event anywhere in the country, dude.
Bro. Could have main evented the Tokyo Dome, bro.
This wasn't really a bad thing, but I just thought Great Muta returns to WCW in this episode.
Wow, and I mentioned the Tokyo Dome. How about that?
I don't even know what number we're at, by the way. We got a face turn, bro. Mike Awesome officially turns face.
Lost count.
Helps Booker T fight off Scott Steiner.
You and I stopped counting like 2 episodes ago, so it's all good.
Yeah. I still have a world champion count, though. Don't worry.
Well, if everybody at home listening along, if you guys are keeping count, please let us know on social media. We would be interested to know.
I do know at this point we're up to 10 new world champions, by the way.
Yeah. 10, bro. Hasn't even been a year.
We get the debut of Kiwi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Because that's a big one.
For people who may not know, he's a stylist. He's got homosexual. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But clearly Russo is just mocking the gay community. That's what he does.
Well, I didn't even know what gay was, bro.
That's what started it all.
Yep.
Then we get a shot of Lenny Lane in the crowd with a huge sign that says "Use me."
Yeah.
Now,
that's not.
This could be him wanting to get on TV, or maybe it's another sexual overtone from Vince Russo. You never know.
Yeah. Lenny, I really want to be Chris Jericho Lane.
Lenny freaking Lane.
Bigger than Jericho, bro.
Should have been.
Bigger than Jericho, only gay, bro.
Now we got a heel turn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All of a sudden, Lance Storm's anti-American, and he demands Canadian national anthem be played before every one of his matches. Keep in mind, the week before, he was not talking or anything. All of a sudden, bam, he's anti-American. No rhyme or reason.
He hates America, bro. Burn the flag.
I blame Shawn Michaels.
Shawn pissed him off.
Get a fun skit where Vampiro reveals the demon in a casket and has a spell over him. He then makes Demon choke Asia, who is his wife. The lights go out. A masked man attacks. He's using Sting's moves.
Yeah. All right, I would say this is a little trippy, but I mean, if you look on the other channel, we've got, people being sacrificed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really talk that much. Although at this point, I think July 2000, I think that was about wrapped up.
So that means it was probably Russo the whole time.
Yeah.
That's his thing. For his sacrifice, he's gone forever, bro.
We stabbed him in the heart, had some smoke, gone forever, bro.
Oh, man.
Put him on the cymbal, set him on fire, slit his throat.
Oh, man. So it wasn't like a terrible episode all around.
I see Chronic defeated General Rection and Corporal Cajun. Sure, that was a
That was
barn
actually...
burner.
It wasn't as bad as you think.
Yeah. Well, I see at the end of the show, Big Papa Pump and Goldberg went nose to nose before blowing up on each other, taking the fight into the crowd. While that was going on, Jeff Jarrett scored a pin on Canyon in the ring. Yes, I said Canyon.
Chris Champagne Canyon.
Oh, hell. And securing his rematch against Booker T at the New Blood Rising pay-per-view, which
is coming up. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Ratings,
I got some
bro.
notes on that one. That may be my longest one we do so far, by the way.
Buckle up, buckaroos. All right. So I guess we move.
Quick note from Thunder after.
All right.
We get a canyon cutter, bro, to Judy Bagwell.
Oh, man. Judy effing Bagwell.
And you know what this is setting up to, but don't ruin the surprise.
Man. Good Lord, man.
One of those iconic moments.
Just want to beat my head against the wall.
This year for wrestling.
Oh, hell. Well, I guess we got to move on to the next week.
So it's on July 18th, by the way. For some reason, it's a Tuesday Nitro.
Yeah, it's weird. They're running the night after Raw. On Raw, by the way, this actually ends, nice trivia note for all of you out there, this is going to end The Rock's long run of main events on Raw. He would start a new string the next week, but the main event on Raw, July 17th, is Triple H and Kurt Angle versus the Brothers of Destruction. Who, by the way...
that is the main event anywhere in the country.
Yeah. Who, by the way, just had a match. All four of these guys are still limping along in WWE.
We just had a conversation about that off air.
Yeah, one of them has a torn pec. The other one is a mare. The other one can barely move. And another one just got called a loser and got tapped out on Raw. So that,
Job twice in...
Yeah. Sad state of affairs for Kurt Angle. But I'd like to hope it's building up to something. I don't know. We recorded this before Raw, by the way. So all of you that know, we don't. Let's go to Tuesday Nitro here. As the Cat announced an 8-man tournament to determine a new United States champion. All 8 participants jumped at the opportunity to go for the second most important singles title in the business. When Lance Storm made threats throughout the night of turning the belt into the Canadian heavyweight title, reality hit home as the man from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, wrestled 3 matches. Yeah, wrestled 3 matches on his way to becoming the new champion. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah. This is an epic run for Lance Storm. If I had to pick anything that Vince Russo did that I loved, it's what he does with Lance Storm.
Same here.
Cannot take that away.
Right. Well, everybody gets one.
One thing you pointed out in the last one we did was it's all about vehicles.
Yeah, I see something.
So Nitro opens up with Scott Steiner destroying Booker T's cars. More vehicles, bro.
Yeah, the company that's going bankrupt and barely has any money. Let's destroy some vehicles, bro. Turner's got it, bro.
Oh, man. This episode is notable for me because they officially dubbed Mike Awesome the Fat Chick Thriller.
Wasn't he dubbed by Mark Madden?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was dubbed by the other fat chick Thrilla as actually he's more of like.
Well, he says he's the most handsome big man on TV. So.
I would say he's a. I'd say he's the Michael Moore of wrestling, but that take that for what it is.
I'm not touching that.
That's what she said.
Prom night flashback.
Wow.
After the match, large women throw their panties in the ring at Mike Austin.
Full figured. Okay.
I went by what it said, like what Mark Madden said.
Yeah. Well, if anybody would know a thing or two about large women. All right. Anyway, moving on.
So Lance Storm, he's all about being serious.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you break that mold? They have Pamela Paulshock hit on him in the back.
Well, because why not? After Pamela told Storm that he was cute, he berated her, saying that it was not the dating game. Lance said that after he won the tournament, he would rename the title the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. Man, that's good stuff.
Yeah, man. And the next segment, another canyon cutter on Judy Bagwell.
That's the best.
Oh, man.
I would have been laughing my ass off. I'm just going to say that now. Is that bad? Like, is it? I don't know. By the way,
he does it too. He grabs her out of the car and like drags her off camera while doing the diamond cutter.
That's good. I'm sorry. That's good stuff. Like, it's stupid, but that's good stuff, man. Buff and John. Who's John? Who am I missing here?
It's his brother.
Oh, okay. Buff and John screamed for help as they knelt over their mother. Oh.
Yep.
That's awesome. I see.
Then Lance.
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't bad. I just wanted to point this out. One of the tournament matches. Good tournament, bro.
Because it's Vince Russo.
Well, hell yeah. One of the tournament matches was the Great Muta versus Vampiro.
That was actually really good.
Was this the debut in WCW of ICP?
The re-debut.
Because I haven't. When were they there before? Because I don't remember.
Months earlier.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember. Either way, it's been a while. But yeah, the Insane Clown Posse pops back up, man. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
We'll get to them soon. And then Lance Storm beats Mike Awesome for the title, and they have two console Awesome in the ring.
Two full-figured ladies. Yeah, man. Yeah, it says right here, two large and in charge women. I love this website, man. It's awesome. It's great.
It's amazing what they did to Mike freaking Awesome, man. Oh my God.
They took a guy named Mike Awesome and made him not so awesome.
And not to jump too far ahead, but the 70s guy's still coming.
Hell. How can we screw him up even more? 70s guy, bro. Well, I would say this is karma for what he did to ECW, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's I have a hard time. Feel bad saying that considering, what happened with him, but man. Well, I see the main event, Goldberg versus Scott Steiner, went to a no contest with interference from...
Of course.
Yeah, well, as I see Steiner clubbing Goldberg down hard, using his massive arms as weapons. I love how they put that in there. Big and sweaty. The former world champion battled back, showing that he, too, was a power machine. When Big Papa Pump went for the Steiner recliner, the Cat stopped him, but was knocked from the ring for his troubles. Booker T got up to help the commissioner, but was taunted into the ring by Steiner. Soon it was the champion who knocked down both men to the canvas just in time for Big Sexy's music to hit. Kevin Nash walked to the ring and jackknife powerbombed both Steiner and Goldberg. Buried, bro. And then he walked to the back.
Yeah.
Man. And people talk about the size of the shovel that Triple H had. Like,
I know. Right?
Look at Nash, man. Holy hell.
Oh, man.
Well, that about wraps it up for Tuesday Nitro.
Couple of quick notes from Thunder. Lenny Lane beats the Wall in a tables match to get his job back.
Main event anywhere in the world, bro.
So I guess the Wall's huge push is gone.
Been gone.
There's canyon cutters all night to backstage personnel. All night.
Yeah.
And then this one really got me. Great Muta just returned, right?
Yeah.
Tank Abbott squashes him in like 40 seconds.
Well, why the hell not? He's American, bro. Nobody can relate to the Japanese guy.
Yeah, the Japanese guy.
He doesn't speak English, bro. Nobody cares. You've talked about this.
Oh, man.
All right. I guess that moves us on to July 24th. Oh, man. They're in Cleveland, Ohio for Nitro, bro. As if there wasn't already enough loss going on in that town. And I can say that. I'm a Cleveland fan. Don't be sending me hate crap.
Why? You get enough of that already.
Yeah, I know. July 24th on Raw for people at home. The main event is Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus The Rock and Kane. That's a weird-ass main event, bro.
Probably still better than this.
What do you mean, probably? There's no doubt.
Oh, man.
No one ever told Booker T that being the WCW champion was easy, even though the new champion had proven that he was up for the task. Few can argue that the man knocking on the door this past Nitro was one of the most feared around, and not about to let anyone or anything, be it a family member or bloodshed, get in the way of the WCW heavyweight title. That's a weird setup for this Nitro, but go ahead.
Should I?
Well, for those of you at home, I see the show opened up with a Canadian title versus hardcore title match. Lance Storm versus Big Vito, bro.
Yeah, and so Big Vito wins it, and then Storm renames it the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title.
What?
Do the math on the initials there, by the way. Saskatchewan Hardcore International title.
Yeah, I get it. Like the superhero in training, yeah.
Yeah. It's another Russo thing.
He won with a single leg crab submission. So yeah.
It's the Canadian Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
So Sting is back. He's wearing a mask because remember he was burnt, and apparently he's not supposed to take it off because standards and practices said not to. But he said he's taking it off tonight, whether they want him to or not.
Wow, they're even mentioning standards and practices on air.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time. Comes up again.
Wow.
But don't get ahead of me.
Good Lord. I just see a lot of greatness on this show, like Lieutenant Loco and Major Guns versus David Flair and Ms. Hancock. Giggity.
Oh, man. Got a heel turn, bro. Great Muta joins the Dark Carnival.
Oh, man. The Dark Carnival. Oh, man, that was, I'll say this. It was entertaining. Other than that,
Yep. Check this out. During the match, Canyon is described as disguised as a cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
He attacks Buff. He kidnaps Judy Bagwell, throws her in a trunk, and drives off.
What is his obsession with Buff Bagwell's mom?
I don't know. Oh, he's trying to make her his new Kimberly.
Ew. Why?
That's right, yeah. I don't know.
What the hell, man? Does he have a mom complex? Like, what the hell, dude?
Don't judge.
It's just creepy. And then I'll say, okay, explain this one to me real quick. I see Chronic versus Jeff Jarrett for the tag titles. How is that a thing?
He was supposed to have a tag match with them, and something happened to his partner.
Okay. Well, I see someone laid out Brian Clark in the dressing room. It was presumed by the announcers to be Jeff Jarrett, as a broken guitar was left behind at the scene.
Yeah.
So it was just Brian Adams versus Jeff Jarrett?
No, he only came out after, and they beat the crap out of him.
Okay. Because I see that it went to a no contest.
Yeah, so why wouldn't they beat the hell out of him? I think the Harris boys returned too, right?
Let's see. It's supposed to be a handicap match, but it was one-on-one.
Actually, I may be getting ahead of myself, sorry.
Yeah, Clark ran in and immediately drove Jeff down with the meltdown. Chronic teased the high time through the announcer's table, but the referee Mark Johnson, slick, jumped in the way, stopping the attack. Adams and Clark threw Jarrett to the wayside and put Johnson through the table instead. Johnson!
Yeah, that's right. The referee went through the table.
This no contest was followed by one more no contest. Then we actually have a win, and then we have another no contest. So, par for the course.
All right, this is good stuff right here. Okay.
Oh man, that's never a good sign when you say that.
Kidman shows a sex tape preview of him and Tori.
Hell yeah!
During Shane Douglas's match against Mike Awesome.
Mike Awesome's not going to care. She's not hefty.
Oh, it gets better. So in the next scene, shows all the wrestlers in the back watching the full sex tape of Kidman and Tori.
Well, that's not creepy at all. Hey, everybody, come over here and look at my dong.
Yeah.
I know that's not what they're looking at, but that's what they're going to see, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. Gosh.
That was the worst. That was all the worst stuff.
Well, explain to me, why is it Buff Bagwell versus Positively Canyon, and it ends in a no contest?
Because Canyon shows up as a cameraman, attacks him before the match.
Okay, that was
kidnaps Judy.
Okay, that's where you were talking about it. But why they're building to this, and then they give you the match?
Well, it's building to something huge. Okay, don't get ahead.
Oh, I'm sure. And then, what the hell is Caged Heat again? Is that where the cage has the roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's their way of saying Hell in a Cell, but not.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's lovely. So, is that all the... I see there was a world title match at the end. Booker T just flat out beats Goldberg.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Let's squash this one right away.
Goldberg's only lost to 4 guys in history. That's one of them, so...
After a Harlem sidekick, the WCW champion retained the title, pinning the former champion to the mat for the 1-2-3. Booker's celebration was short-lived as Goldberg had a spear and jackhammer for him as Nitro came to an end. Wraps it up, bro.
Couple of gems from Thunder, by the way.
Oh, hit me with it.
The Wall becomes Sergeant AWOL.
Because why not?
And getting back to that sex tape thing.
Oh, yeah.
So Shane Douglas is like, okay, I'm going to show my own sex tape with Tori. But Kidman switches it, and it's a tape of Shane Douglas having performance issues in bed.
What the F?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. Is this leading to the famous match? Oh, man.
Yes. Don't get ahead of me. It's coming up. We're getting to it right now.
Maybe somebody called him Dean, and he just couldn't get it up after that.
Right.
All right, well,
moving on to July 31st.
For reference, over on Raw, this is a weird one. The Rock and Lita take on Triple H and Trish Stratus.
Oh, yeah, that's that famous scene where Stephanie walks in on Triple H looking like he's dry humping her in the back.
She's bent over in front of him.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's got nothing on what's coming up here, though.
Well, Nitro, they were in Cincinnati this time around. Hey.
So there's got to be a win.
Oh, yeah. They go from the north part of the state to the south part of the state. And guess what 2000 Cincinnati had in common with 2018 Cincinnati? The Bengals still haven't won a playoff game.
Wow.
Had to throw it in there.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So the first segment, by the way, on this one, starts out with Jeff Jarrett breaking a guitar over Booker T's wife's head.
Wow.
Because why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
This show starts off on a low note, by the way. I mean, the whole show is a low note, but this is extra low. They started off with a 10-bell salute because of the passing of Gordon Sully.
Yeah,
He passed away the previous Thursday before the show. There you go. So this was Booker T's first wife then?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was married before Charmel, but
oddly enough, Charmel's on this.
I know. It's funny.
We get a. So, like, one thing about Mean Gene, he's never been involved in anything physical. All of a sudden, he gets a canyon cutter.
Because why not? Hey, if you're going to start somewhere, you start at the top with Canyon, all right? Not to speak ill of the dead, but come on, Canyon. Who better than Canyon?
This is the in-ring debut of Kwee-Wee.
Oh, yeah, I see he's taking on the artist with the aforementioned Paisley, who is Charmel Huffman nowadays.
Here's the one right here. The famous one. Viagra on a pole, bro.
Yeah. Oh. Main event anywhere in the world, bro. Put it on a pole.
That's WrestleMania right there, man.
Hell yeah. The franchise versus Billy
obviously,
Kidman.
Obviously, the match sucks.
Take it back.
So the ref gets distracted by Tori, and then Shane hits the franchiser on Kidman, but Kidman has the bottle in his hand, but the bottle accidentally shatters all over the place.
It was glass?
And it cuts Shane's back open.
Oh.
And the pills are everywhere.
Oh, sick. What the hell? This is all kinds of wrong.
So, keep in mind the pills are everywhere, all over the mat.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere. All of a sudden, there's a close-up of Billy Kidman with, like, hella Viagra pills in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, he did it himself,
Yeah, I see. As the ref turns around, he saw Shane with the remains of the bottle and awarded him the match. Douglas puts put the boots to Billy after the bell, and he spit the Viagra pills from his mouth.
Yeah.
Well, and then if that's not going to get it up for you, giggity, this next match will, because it is a hardcore match between Ms. Hancock and Major Freaking Guns, man.
It's basically just a food fight, and both women are laughing the entire time.
Well, they fought in the women's shower and made their way to the catering table. Inside the ring, Sergeant AWOL and David Flair fought in front of the Cincy crowd as the ladies scratched and clawed down the aisle. Once inside, Hancock, giggity, threw Guns into a table and drove her down with a body slam, scoring the victory in this hardcore classic.
Yes, she won with a body slam.
Well, everybody wins with a body slam, Greg.
Body slam of doom, bro.
And then backstage.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Kidman's consumption of the Viagra pills was evident to the Nitro girls, who asked Billy if they could go to his hotel room with him.
Yeah, and he responds saying, yeah, sure, he's having a hard day.
I just, wow.
Don't act like you're not
all right,
sorry, I had to. You probably didn't hear it, Greg, but for the viewer, the listeners at home, I had to play the little clip from Anchorman. Don't act like you're not impressed.
And you're gonna have a Viagra and a pole match. The only other match to complement that is a straitjacket match.
Well, hell yeah!
Because why not?
Well, this is all about. One match is about letting loose, and this match is about constricting. It's the best of two worlds, bro.
So the match surprisingly sucks.
No, I will not let you disparage the good goddamn name of Scott Steiner, all right? Or Kevin Nash, for that matter. You take it back.
I don't know if this is right to say, but the best spot of the match is when Medeja gets a jackknife.
And then if this doesn't do it for you, Rick Steiner gets involved. The Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin. He too was about to go for a powerbomb ride, but Scott uses the chair, setting the brothers up to place Nash in the jacket. After using the Steiner recliner to put Kevin out, Big Papa Pump attended to Medeja, who was still out cold in the ring.
Yep.
So 2 weeks ago, for those of you keeping track, Scott Steiner comes out, lays out Goldberg, lays out Steiner, leaves like a boss. This week, Nash lays out a woman, and the Steiner brothers break his back and make him humble.
Yep.
So, try to keep up with this one, people. And, in the main event, Booker T wrestles Sting, beats him.
Well, yeah, but that's not the story. The story is, at the end, Sting gets thrown in the demon's coffin, and the coffin's lit on fire, bro.
I think they missed this by 2 years when they did it in WWE with Kane and The Undertaker.
Oh, it gets better. A random rope is lowered from the roof, and Jeff Jarrett hangs Booker, one leg of Booker's up the rope, and shatters the guitar over his knee.
Oh, let's hang the black guy, bro. That doesn't have bad undertones at all. I get it, he wasn't hanging it by his neck, but god dang, this doesn't sound bad to anybody?
Well, Russo.
When Russo's, in the back, him and Ed Ferrara are sitting there whacking each other off in this talent this freaking the creative meeting, and saying, yo, we're gonna hang a black guy, bro. Nobody stands up and is like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. And he's like, no, bro, it ain't racist. And even if it is, who cares?
Oh my god.
It's not by his neck,
the world
bro.
champion, bro. It's fine.
Next week, he's going to come out with his brother, and they're going to be led by chains down to the ring by a white guy in a cowboy hat, bro. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Ole Anderson had them do that. My bad.
They really did this, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not...
It's not a joke. They really did this crap.
Yeah. Man. Vampiro, Muda, and the Demon fought Sting up the aisle. As the Chosen One tied Booker's bad leg to a rope that fell from the ceiling, he strung T up and blasted his knee with a guitar. On the stage, Sting was placed in the Demon's coffin and was set ablaze as the Kiss creature breathed fire.
Yep.
He pulled a steamboat, bro. Breathed fire.
Yeah, so, all in all, a good week. I mean, Viagra on a pole. Can't beat that.
That was the best. That's just... Oh, man. Whew. Well, I mean, that was better than, Lita and Rock versus Trish and Triple H. I mean, main event anywhere in the world, bro. No, it wasn't, but... God, well, that closes out July, mercifully. All right, well, I guess that closes out July for us. Moving on, full steam into August, but before we breach into August and go in ass first, we will Man, that was bad. We're going to take another quick break right now. Tell you, it will be our last break of the podcast to tell you about some other great podcasts on Drama City Productions Podcast Network. Go to dramacityproductions.com and keep up with us, as well as many other great podcasts out there. We'll be right back.
DramaCityProductions.com. Game ticket, $50. Hot dog, $8. Team store item, $25.
I told him I can beat him with one hand tied behind my back, with some glasses on, with one eye lens out, with some flip-flops on in the ring.
Having to listen to someone's dumb sports opinions? Worthless. Some people shouldn't talk sports. For everyone else, there's the Unspoken Podcast, available on most podcasting platforms, and on the web at theunspodkensportspodcast.weebly.com.
DramaCityProductions.com.
Drama City Productions presents.
Hey, it's Ben here, host of the Regular Stories Podcast, a podcast where I interview interesting people about their lives. These are not celebrities. They're not the elite. These are regular people, and these are their stories. You can follow us on Facebook at Regular Stories and on Instagram at Regular Stories. We are everywhere that you can get a podcast. We are on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and just about everywhere else. Look up Regular Stories Podcast.
And we are back, and that means, bro, we are diving into August 7th, bro. Oh. Now, out in your, well, sort of close to your neck of the woods, out in Denver, Colorado. Still the west side, bro.
Screw Denver.
I know. I thought you loved Denver. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I don't have anything sarcastic to say. Just screw you.
Over on Raw, the main event is a triple threat. No Rock again, bro. Triple H versus Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho. Man, Triple H is getting a little run in the main event now. But
there's finishes.
Yeah. Well, how can it compare to this, bro? In less than a week, New Blood Rising will provide a platform for WCW's ever-evolving group of superstars. Sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. But some men just couldn't wait for Canada. Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, and Sting were all looking for vengeance, both in the ring and backstage at the Pepsi Center. Plus, Lance Storm attempts to add another belt to his collection, the World Heavyweight title. Oh, you take it from there, bro.
Man, if only you said it all. First thing I noted was there was another heel turn, because, of course.
Yeah.
So, Sean O'Hare and Mark Jindrak turn on Chronic.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, Mark Jindrak was with Chronic?
No.
Oh,
him and O'Hare were they were friends with them, and they had a match. That's when they won, so they turned on them. Yeah.
Okay, then. The Reflection of Perfection and the Devil's Advocate versus Chronic.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what they would go on to become.
The box of gimmicks I've ever heard it right there.
Yeah. You pull it in, they pull it out.
Don't use the word pull, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Wow. Yeah, I see another on a pole match coming up.
Yeah, hold on.
God, I'll let you get to it.
Sorry.
It's just pissing me off here at this point. And it's like, this was 18 years ago, and I'm still getting pissed. Like, I'm getting hot.
Let's just talk about it then. Yeah. Lead pipe on a pole, bro. Scott Steiner versus Sting.
You're essentially putting a pole on a pole at this point. Like, what the...
That's how much Russo loves it. He loves two poles, bro. Not
that we're judging, all right? Like, I I respect
I
guys.
literally meant poles. I mean,
I respect guys who like poles just as much as guys who don't like poles. Whatever. It's to each their own. But
he put a pipe on a pole, and then he put Sting in the match. Man, like, one of the greatest ever.
That makes it better, bro. What are you talking about, dude?
My mistake again.
It was Scott Steiner versus Sting, pipe on a pole. It was one of the greatest of all time, and Sting. All right, like. Sorry, I had to get it in.
For that.
I had to get it in. Steiner grabbed the weapon, won the match, and began to work over Sting. So if you're wondering, Steiner effing won. So
here's a good little moment earlier. Mean Gene hits a low blow on Canyon.
Oh, Tutti Frutti.
Freaking Gene.
He hit him in his Tutti Fruttis, bro. God dang. I just... and then that set him up for a buff blockbuster.
Yep.
Yay.
And they're going to meet on pay-per-view, too. So, yeah, just give it all away.
I love... Well, yeah, of course. Why not, bro? Nobody cares. I told you I love this website, right? Like,
yeah.
It says, in a gripping interview, that says dripping with sarcasm, Tony Schiavone asked Vince Russo about Bash at the Beach, WCW's Progress, Ric Flair, and even John Rocker, a must-see.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't ask about John Rocker. He just brings it up. He said he wants to fight John Rocker on New Year's Eve.
For those of you that don't know, much like me, we're not going to tell you all of what John Rocker said because there's a ton to get into that I just don't. I don't want to open up that.
It's racist. It's homophobic. It's every freaking thing.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, John Rocker was apparently a baseball player. Like who did he play for?
I think he played for the Braves. I think.
Okay. Well, and that's very poignant with Turner and whatnot because he owned the Braves. But they asked him about being possibly traded to New York, and he just went on this whole tirade about not wanting to get on the subway next to you name it, drug addicts, gays, foreign people, pregnant women, all the just on and on, just laid it on thick. Oh, it was bad. What became of John Rocker?
I don't know.
Man, that's something for the listeners. Look it up, or any of you, sports fanatics out there. See, I don't know much about baseball. I'm only an avid fan. Got it in. For those of you, you can get a T-shirt that says, I don't know much about wrestling. I'm only an avid fan over at redbubble.com/people/pod rest society. So there you go. Man, he was on a season of Survivor.
Yeah.
So and apparently he did steroids. So it's just like, oh man.
Roid rage much?
Daily double, bro. And he was on the if anybody remembers the Spike TV show, Pros versus Joes.
Which one was he?
Oh, you made it worse. Oh man. He's got an autobiography, if anybody cares, called Scars and Strikes. And, oh my God, as of 2012, he writes a column for World Net Daily, which is a conservative political site, of course.
Oh.
And as of 2013, he is the director of public affairs for Save Homeless Veterans. Man, this guy's just run the gambit with his life, man. I
know.
If anybody else has anything else to add about this, let us know. Hit us up on social media. Interesting story behind John Rocker that we just don't have time to get into here on the podcast. But there's a little nugget for you. But yeah, Vinny Ruru wants to fight this guy.
Let's get back to some class, okay?
Oh yeah.
So Booker T versus Lance Storm. Mike Awesome and his large lady Heidi are on commentary before the match even starts.
You said the large lady, mother of God.
That's what they said in the thing. Okay?
I'm sure they did.
A waiter brings over a huge tray of hamburgers to them.
Oh, God. Making fun of fat people, bro. Get it in.
In the course of the match, Jeff Jarrett breaks a guitar over Heidi's head.
Of course he does.
Oh, man.
I don't know if this is getting dumber or if it's just as is continuing on with the same amount of dumb.
Yeah, well, hold on. This gets weird. It gets better. It's Tori Wilson Appreciation Night, so Kidman's sucking up to her and telling her he's sorry and everything. Brings her out to the ring and shows, wow, I see a theme here. Shows a very large, overweight Tori from when she was 16 years old, stuffing her face with cake.
So she's Monica from Friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Oh, man.
And of course, it wouldn't end with anything else but a melee between him and Shane Douglas.
Well, yeah. Oh, my God. And apparently there's a backstage interview with Kiwi where he introduces his wife, Papaya.
Papaya.
What is going on? What drugs am I taking?
Also, he's just Kiwi at the moment. I think he becomes Kiwi the next week.
I don't know. There's
Kiwi and Papaya.
I don't know. They're calling him Kiwi on this website.
Oh, they do, yeah, but he's actually called Kiwi until the next week.
Kiwi and Papaya. God dang it. The main event.
Hold on, we're skipping over this, Jim. Unless this is the main event, it very well could be. So, Major Gun and Tiger back. They brawl up into the mud. Miss Hancock gets involved.
Giggity.
It becomes a triple threat mud match, and yeah.
Well,
that's the main event, I believe.
It is not, but we'll get to that in a minute. But
it is the main event anywhere in the country. So.
Well, yeah. Why isn't it? I don't get it. I do have to ask, what week is it that Miss Hancock changes her name to Ms. Foot Penis?
Wow. What the hell?
I know I made that joke a few weeks ago, but it bears repeating. Come on. Get it in there.
Last Nitro where she's Miss Hancock, period, by the way. So it's funny you say that.
Nice. The main event was Sting and Kevin Nash defeating the Steiner brothers.
Not a bad match.
Well, enter Bill Goldberg after the match. The Phenom crushed Steiner. Why did they call him the Phenom? Either way, he crushed Steiner. I assume they mean Scott. But after Sting made the pin, then Goldberg dropped the Painted One with a vicious sidekick. Oh, man, surprised he didn't make it so Sting couldn't get his junk hard anymore. The reference to a honky-tonk man interview. Never mind. Nash re-entered the ring after a brutal battle commenced. Many members of the WCW locker room rushed the ring and did their best to separate Big Papa Pump, Goldberg, and Nash. Oh, yeah. Man. By the way, for all of you that are interested, the WCW World title match was in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
And this main event was the second match of the night for both Sting and Steiner. Scott Steiner, we mentioned it, the pipe on the pole. Scott Steiner defeated Sting, and then they had a tag team match later on in the night because, what is it with, they had a huge roster, yet for some reason, Vince Russo loved making everybody pull double duty.
I know.
Good Lord. Double duty, handicap matches, and intergender matches. Oh, and tournaments, bro. And putting things on a pole, vehicles. That sums up Vince Russo's booking right there. Sprinkle of racism, a dash of sexism, and making fun of the handicapped / elderly. Boom.
And the overweight community, too.
Oh, well, that's a given. I mean, God.
Before we go on to New Blood Rising, because it's going to be great.
Obviously.
There's an incident on Thunder I just got to mention.
Oh, let's hear it, because the way you're laying this up, it's going to be good.
It's Buff Bagwell and Mean Gene against Chris Kanyon and his mystery partner, Mark Madden.
What?
Yeah. Couple times throughout the match, Mark Madden sees Bagwell posing, threatens to rip his shirt off and outpose him.
Okay. Let's not spend too much time talking and thinking about that.
There's one more thing. Mark Madden goes to low blow Mean Gene, but Mean Gene reveals he's wearing a cup and pulls the cup out.
Of course he is.
And shoves it in Mark Madden's face.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
Then Buff hits a blockbuster on Madden and Gene pins him.
Madden gets to smell the Tutti Fruities.
Yeah.
Gosh. More genital jokes, bro.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know we already did a spot for this earlier in the show, but I'll get one more plug in here. You know, while we're talking about Gene's Tutti Fruities, that reminds me of some great swag you can get over at redbubble.com/people/pod society, where you can, on, t-shirt, hoodie, mug, whatever, you can get hashtag junk hand out of nowhere. Because Mark Madden got Mean Gene's junk hand out of nowhere on an episode of Thunder, and you can commemorate that with it's a reference to Mr. Randall Keith Orton, but, you can get it to show your support for Mr. Mean Gene, taking it to, I can't even come up with a clever nickname for Mark Madden. We'll just call him WCW's answer to Jabba the Hutt.
Perfect.
Boom. All right. Well, got another shameless swag plug in there. Now it is time to move on to the classic that is New Blood Rising.
Mm-hmm.
The crowning achievement of Vince Russo. Mr. Vic Venom. And for all of you listening, this will be our wrap-up for the podcast. Tonight, we will bring you a lot of goodness in the future.
We're about to bring him a lot of goodness right now.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a ton of it. Just as a heads up, the attendance for this show, 6,600 people.
Yeah, and I believe the arena was like 16,000.
Yeah, it's they are in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Pacific Coliseum. That's just downright embarrassing. Let's see. For ice hockey, they can get 16,000 people in there. So for wrestling, they can probably get more. That's wow. Can you imagine?
Maybe a little less. They block off something for their entranceway. At least 15, though. 15,000.
The buy rate was 0.18. They had 85,000 people buy this piece of crap. 85,000 people. That's pathetic.
Well, those 85,000 people, the first thing they saw in here was Tank Abbott coming out to the ring with a 3-count shirt with holes for the nipples.
Well, then I bet all those other people that didn't order this were upset, man. They were missing out big time, bro.
Oh, man.
They were missing out hardcore. Oh, I'm just... Because just putting it all out there, never seen this show. Because...
You should. It should be required viewing.
Well, the thing is, I don't like to torture myself. I know it to those of you listening, it might seem like I do, that Greg and I are gluttons for punishment, but I don't always enjoy...
Yeah, we're Browns and Raiders fans.
Yeah. I don't necessarily enjoy torturing myself all the time, so I've never seen the show, and looking down this card, man, it looks like I've missed out on a lot. It's god dang, man, like, whoo! This is, man, Vince Russo, if you thought he hated, Mexicans and Japanese, man, he really hated Canadians by what, like, if you look at this card,
Yep.
Holy hell. All right. Well, looking at this, like I said, looking at the card, it's looking like an awesome show, but I did not watch it.
I don't know why you haven't watched it, but it is.
Oh yeah. Well, as you mentioned with the Tank Abbott thing, we start off with a ladder match for a gold record.
Yeah.
Because everything's got to be for something, bro.
This match is actually pretty watchable.
I've seen most of this match, and yeah, I mean, besides the stupid stipulation of being for a gold record, I mean...
The Starrcade one is better, but this is great.
Or maybe it was the Starrcade one I saw. I can't remember.
Well, they've had 4 ladder matches in these two teams, so...
I don't know. I've seen one of them. I don't remember which one it was.
Well, anyways, 3 count wins, but then Tank Abbott grabs the gold record and the recording contract and walks off. And you can see him mouthing the words, "I'm going to go record myself."
What the hell?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, it was between 3 count, which is Evan Courageous, Shannon Moore, and Shane Helms with Tank Abbott. And they defeated the team of the Young Dragons, Kaz Hayashi, Yun Yang. Is that how they said it? Yun Yang? I don't know.
I think so.
Jimmy Wang Yang, basically. And Jamie Son, who is Jamie freaking Noble, who I sat next to on a plane before. Just putting that out
But thanks to Bin Laden, you couldn't do anything else. Anyways.
What the hell? Oh.
Can I say the M word on here?
Wait, the what word? No.
All right. It's a scene from The Hangover. Some people might get it.
Oh, God.
Thanks a lot, Bin Laden.
Gosh. Well, see the next match. Just looking at it, it looks like a 5-star classic. Ernest Miller defeats the Great Muta
because for some reason he gets Tigress to help him win.
Oh,
she comes out with a chair off the top rope and hits Muta with it, and yeah, it's a quick match.
6 minutes,
yet painful.
6 minutes 47 seconds. Oh.
The next match is a classic.
It is the infamous match that we've all been waiting for besides the Viagra on a pole. It is the infamous Buff Bagwell versus Canyon in a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
Oh, man.
Because if she's on a forklift, she can't be canyon cutted, bro.
Well, it's actually labeled as Judy Bagwell on a pole, but, yeah, for obvious reasons.
How the hell are you going to put Judy Bagwell on a pole?
Well, they couldn't, so they put her on a forklift.
Man.
Well, let's get to the best part of the match.
Vehicles, bro.
David Arquette returns, dude.
Oh, man. Our savior, the prodigal son, has returned.
Mark Madden hypes him up as the greatest WCW champion in history.
Oh, my God. Because why not?
Yeah, why not? Anyways, they both beat the hell out of Buff, but yet he overcomes the odds and wins. Because handicap, the one must win.
I did it for mama.
Oh.
Sorry, I wish I had that queued up.
The next match, it's Chronic versus O'Hare and Jindrak versus the Perfect Event versus Misfits in Action. Now here's
General
the kicker.
Rection and Corporal Cajun.
Here's the kicker. There are 4 referees.
Because why wouldn't there be?
Rey Mysterio, Disco Inferno, Juventud Guerrera, and Tigress. That makes the second appearance of Tigress in this pay-per-view.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't there be?
Many interferences from all 4 refs. Melee, gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
Yeah, well, Chronic ends up winning, so there you go.
It's quick and painful.
12 minutes, 22 seconds of this.
Next match is not so bad if they stuck to the stipulation. It's a strap match, and yet throughout the match, many pinfalls are attempted. And the referee counts, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Are their ideas of a strap match different than my ideas? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, clearly.
They're having a hell of a match, pal. Well, and every match these guys have is a gimmick match. You're supposed to build to the gimmick match, not have gimmick matches all the way to a gimmick match.
If I remember correctly, I believe the scaffold match is coming.
Oh my gosh, the best gimmick match.
Yeah. All right, this next one. This is just wow. Wow.
Oh man.
It is
the thing I gotta say before moving on here with this one is,
Does anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
all right, sorry. Had to play some Will Ferrell there because that's how I felt throughout this whole podcast. But moving on.
It's Miss Major Guns and Miss Hancock
Giggity.
in an ROTC match. It is rip off the camouflage.
Wow, Wikipedia describes it as a mud rip off the clothes match.
Yeah, it was in the mud too. Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it be? Sexism, bro, and it's only like the 5,000th time these guys or these gals have went at it. Why
so
are they
the
even
point
feuding?
of this, I forget honestly. There was like an interaction in the back.
Nobody cares,
Anyways,
bro.
Off clothes, but again, in the middle of the match, they allow pinfall attempts.
Nobody cares, bro. Put them in the mud, get them naked. Ratings, bro.
Throughout the match, Ms. Hancock keeps clutching her stomach. Gee, I wonder where this is going.
Oh, hell.
Both women strip one another, and the match ends in the mud. Major Guns wins. Miss Hancock's crying about her stomach. David Flair hops into the mud and helps her to the back. She's taken to the ambulance covered in mud. Then we get a close-up of Tony Schiavone. He's very serious and insists that this is not part of the show.
Even though it is. Blurring the lines, bro. Which, we haven't even got to the biggest blurring of the lines, bro. Later on.
Yeah.
I like how just Vince Russo's idea is like, let's take a moment out of the scripted show to tell you, hey, all of that was bullcrap, but this right here, this is real. But now,
this is real.
But excuse us while we now go back to our scripted bullcrap. Brawl for all, bro. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, continue.
Demon versus Sting. It lasts about 2 minutes. Sting squashes him. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, Gene Simmons must be happy. You were
nice
in that
takeaway.
podcast with Bischoff, right? It's like they paid Gene Simmons $250,000 for this gimmick.
Yeah.
And they've done nothing with it.
What a payoff, right? Well, they put it on Dale Torborg, you know, and who wouldn't have thought that he would have went far? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the match, Chronic comes out to make the save. All of a sudden, there's another tag title match made for later.
God dang it. Did they like wrestle around like before the bell rang? Because Wikipedia tags it as 52 seconds long.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I might be counting the stuff on the outside.
Okay, I was just wondering because you said like 2 minutes. I was like, So I assumed the bell didn't ring for a while.
That damn bell had a ring.
Unfortunately. Yeah, this next match I see was 11 and a half minutes. It was Canadian rules, which here's what Wikipedia says. Canadian rules means that.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. You might ruin mid parts of the match here if you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So first off, Jacques Rougeau is the ref.
What the F?
So, yeah. I know.
We need a Canadian legend. Let's get Jacques freaking Rougeau.
You're going to say that even more in a minute, and you'll see why. Mike Awesome hits the Awesome Bomb. It's over. He gets a 3 count, stands up right after, and Jacques gets on the mic and says, Canadian rules means there must be a 5 count.
Yeah, because apparently that's how they do it in Canada. Not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, if
so
the Mountie says it.
It is. So it goes on. Awesome hits a Dragon Sleeper. He wins, but Jacques says there's absolutely no submissions in Canadian rules matches.
Even though that's kind of what most Canadians are known for is their submissions.
Yes. But okay. Awesome then hits a Frog Splash, and he wins. But now Jacques says Canadian rules, he gets a 5 count. Canadian rules state that it's now Texas death rules, and Storm has till 10 to get up.
Okie doke.
Keep in mind, when the guy they were pushing all summer just lost 3 times on one pay-per-view in one match. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Both guys fall through a table. First one up wins. Up by 10 wins.
Uh-huh.
Jacques kicks Awesome down as he almost gets up. Storm wins. And then at the end, Bret Hart comes out and embraces them both. So there you go. Bret Hart's in the building. But don't use him as the ref. We use Jacques freaking Rougeau.
We use the Mountie, bro. Where we insinuated back in the WWF that, he got sexually assaulted in prison by another man.
Yeah, why not?
Well, my question throughout this whole thing, where's Ramon and the Pirate?
Who cares? Oh, he comes the next night.
Wait, Ramon does?
Huh? No,
the Pirate?
Yeah, Pierre Olay comes the next day.
Oh, man.
Don't get ahead. It's coming up.
Oh, gotta get the Pirate in there.
If there's one match on this whole card that's watchable, it's probably that, even though the stupid parts, because it was a really good match. So
the Canadian rules.
Yeah, I mean, it was good until those BS finishes.
Okay, I just my head hurts after all that. For those of you listeners, I hope you enjoyed the Canadian national anthem that we played in honor of this. Greg can't hear it, by the way, but I was playing the Canadian national anthem during that description of the match, but go ahead.
The next match is pretty quick, I think. It was So Vampira and Great Muto, they win the tag titles when the Harris Boys return. And beat the hell out of Chronic.
9 minutes.
Yep.
Just why is this a double duty again? What did I say earlier, damn it?
Yep.
God dang.
I'm gonna skip over the next match and go to the main event real quick because the next match is gonna take some time. The main event's not bad. Booker beats Jeff Jarrett.
Well, I will say it went for almost 15 minutes, and if there's one person I want to see wrestle for 15 minutes, it's Jeff freaking Jarrett.
Yeah. Okay. This is the big part. So it's Nash, Steiner, and Goldberg. So Goldberg's bound. I think he was in a legit motorcycle accident at some point. I think.
According to Wikipedia, it was a kayfabe mysterious motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I think he wrote his book that was really an accident. So, but it wasn't bad. But of course they put it in.
Well, yeah. Shoot, bro.
So the match is going on. Goldberg shows up midway through. As he's getting ready to go for the jackknife, he walks out, and the announcer's like, "What's he doing? He's supposed to go for the jackknife. What's he doing?" That's what Scott Hudson says. He's like, "He was supposed to go for the jackknife and do the job. What's he doing?" That's what Scott Hudson said on live pay-per-view.
First thing. I know they're trying to blur the lines and all this other BS. And again, let's take a break from our scripted BS to let you know that that's all scripted BS, but this is real. But now we're going to go back to our scripted BS here in a moment. Just first flaw I'm going to point out with all of that is 9 times out of 10, the announcers don't know the finish. And if they do know the finish, they don't know this. Like, they don't know the details of the match. They don't know, so-and-so's.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing. When Hudson was saying that, they were focusing on him, and he was looking at the paper. Like, I think you're supposed to take the jackknife. Like, they have it written down for him.
Yeah, and even if, like, that was all a thing, like, they don't script matches. They might tell you what the finish is, but that's it. And they're not going to tell the announcer. Like, God, like, oh. Do I have to play the sound clip again about I feel like I'm taking crazy pills? Like, I feel like I could say this a million times. Go on.
Here's a flaw I found. Goldberg's walking out. He gives Nash the finger. All of a sudden, comes right out, like immediately.
Vinny
and I'm thinking,
yeah.
So this is on the fly, and yet Russo's at gorilla position, ready to go. Within 2 seconds of this happening.
Yeah, he sees it on the monitor. He's like, whoa, that's not supposed to happen, bro. And he comes out, and he tells him, you get back in there, and you take the power bomb, bro.
Oh, man. Tony Schiavone's acting super upset and says, now Steiner and Nash will have to improvise a new finish. He said that.
I would look super upset if I was Tony Schiavone and I worked there as well, but Goldberg refused to follow the script. This is a promo, by the way.
That's a real commercial. Go look it up on YouTube. It's the Fall Brawl commercial, I believe.
Yeah. When Goldberg refused to follow the script. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. No wonder nobody was watching this crap.
Nash gives him the jackknife, and then Hudson's like, well, it looks like Steiner's a man. He wasn't afraid to take the power bomb and take the loss. Oh, man.
Golly, that atrocity went on for almost 11 minutes. Just wow. Okay, so adding up the people live in attendance and adding that to the people who bought this abortion of a pay-per-view, that's about 91,000 people, give or take. Oh, man, that's
less than what was WrestleMania in Jerry's world.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yes, but think about that. That's 91,000 people who sat through this. Okay.
And paid for this.
Paid good money for this. All right. Just
there was no internet back then. Nobody was able to illegally watch this. They had to pay for this.
Yeah.
I mean, there was internet, but that was years now.
Yeah, and there was no $9.99 a month for a network. Like, now, if the pay-per-view sucks, you can just be like, whatever, $10. Back then, it was like $30, $40. And those people sitting there in the arena, heaven knows what the hell they paid, those poor suckers. But I will say, they brought it on themselves because, I mean, what on this card would make you go, you know what, I'm plunking down my money, front row.
Well, clearly, when they did that, Judy Baggs was on a forklift. That was the kick right there.
Well, yeah, that Major Guns and Miss Hancock, giggity, in a mud rip-off clothes match. I'd
pay for that, but
but the gold record ladder match, come on.
Tank Abbott with nipple holes in his shirt, man. Come on, dude.
I mean, I don't know if that was advertised, but. Well, and then the fact that
bonus, man, added value to your ticket, like Bruce Prichard says.
Yeah, exactly. And then the fact that Vampiro, who, by the way, was not even booked on the show, they made an impromptu match for him. He was the only person on the promotional poster. Yeah. Think about that. Not even on the card. And Great Muta was booked on the card. He lost to the Cat. But then he ended up winning the tag titles at the end of the night, so all was good, I guess. What the hell is going on here?
It's
I know
only going to get better.
I know I say that every week, but like, God dang.
Wait till next week.
Oh, yeah. Well, Well, I think about does it for this episode of Wrestling Wednesday on the podcast Wrestling Society.
And I'm very sorry.
Well, these can only end on low notes. They begin on low notes, end on low notes. It's not good. Next up, I guess we'll be tackling the rest of August and hopefully be diving into September. When is Russo gone forever, bro?
The first Nitro of October is his last one.
Well, hopefully we can wrap it up in episode 6 then. There's a lot to get to, especially heading into Fall Brawl on September 17th.
Spoiler, new champion, bro.
Well, I mean, you can already tell how epic it's going to be when you see Goldberg and Scott Steiner on the promotional poster. I mean, I'm sure those two put on a 5-star, a 7-star Dave Meltzer classic.
Nope, only 6. It's 7 if it's in the Tokyo Dome.
Wow. Just wow. Okay. Well, anyway, there's a lot to get into, a lot to dive into, bro. Caged Heat, which they've broken that thing out like 4 or 5 times in the last couple of months. And spoiler for spoiler / teaser for the next time we do this is Mr. Russo wins the belt, bro.
Yeah. And you thought Arquette having it was bad.
At least Arquette had it for a reason. It was still stupid, but it was a reason that you could kind of virtually live with. This, nah. That don't work for me, brother. But well, for all
and
of
yet Horace Hogan didn't get a run with the title. What the hell?
And he was the Hogan. I mean, I've said it before, but seriously, like, come on. Anyway, our top 10 list, if you guys have not checked it out already I'm not sure if you were able to yet, if I've posted it. I don't know. My timeline's sometimes messed up with posting things. But anyway,
it's a time zone thing.
Yeah, that's it. I never got that time zone thing. But anyway, our list, bro, this week is the top 10 storylines with no or unsatisfying conclusions. So check that one out. Next week, though, you and I don't know, we might be able to do the news. It depends on our... Oh, wait, no. That's right. We will not. So it'll just be Kyle and I. Again, bro, next week on the podcast, we will be running down NXT War Games and Survivor Series.
I'm going to try to get you a few live notes from there, too.
Awesome. That will be fantastic. And then the week after that, bro, you and I will be coming back at them with Vince Russo on Nitro, Part 6.
We'll call it the end.
Oh, it was the end, all right. Bro, he won the world title, bro, and he was gone forever, bro.
And so was WCW, bro.
Yeah, it should have been killed right then and there, but unmercifully it lived until January, I believe. But March. Oh, God, even worse. That's right. Forgot. Almost until Mania. All right. Well, anyway, that about wraps it up for us. Thank you for joining me today, Greg. I know you've been under the weather.
Yeah. I apologize if I sound out of it. I'm really sick.
And you know what? As long as you're here, bro, it's all that matters. And
doing this podcast didn't make me feel any better.
Yeah, reading what you had to read probably made you want to up Chuck, but that's beside the point. But we'll definitely go and subscribe to us on YouTube and tick the little bell to be notified. And subscribe to the podcast and give us a 5-star review, bro, because much like Uncle Dave, we appreciate 5 stars. And we'll come at you later, bro.
Later.
This has been a Drama City production.